All right. Hit the gym now. Just going back. Went to get a DJI Action 6 today, but I thought it's May. It means that the DJI Action 7 is probably going to come out in a month. But also, if this works, this is going to be fine. Gotta wait. Whoa, VK Calais. That's beautiful. Wonder if this guy's even watching the traffic. Wow, look at that, an old Holden VK Calais Commodore. Wow, 1985. Well, VK was what, 84 to 86. My first car in Australia was a VK Commodore. Anyway, let's just. So I was able to get the Stripe invoice that you can create I can create a customer now. I can search for a customer, bring up all their details, and create a new invoice, add tax to it. Also, invoices without tax. Some services there's no tax. Do that through Stripe. Stripe is great because it integrates with Xero and MYOB. But imagine it's all AI. But it's just not AI. It's like you got to program the thing to do what you want it to do. That is honestly hell on earth. I think a lot of people think it's just a matter of talking to ChatGPT. It's just not. But I've been able to template it up so that it can be transferred to new businesses. It still takes, you would have to pay. It's like to set up an AI agent to take inquiries, register the customer, make an appointment, or maybe sell a product or service to the customer and arrange the shipping and everything, and then to send out the invoice and take the invoice that is just to set that up. That's 1 week of salary. All right, a lot of cars coming now. Oh, it's after this white car. Yep, looks good. Okay, gotta watch out. It's 1 week salary. So how much would a receptionist get paid in Australia? $70,000. So yeah, it's probably $1,400 to $1,500 to set that all up. But I think that it can probably. It's going to be very powerful for entrepreneurs who can't afford a full staff member. When they grow, they can start to afford staff. But at the beginning, it's tough. So if you can do some of these tasks with AI, it's great. But I was speaking to somebody today who does the roadworthy certificates in Victoria, not here in Queensland, who said, yeah, I want this. Oh, this is just game changer. You mean you can book all my appointments. That also, take the payment and then it goes into my MYOB. Oh no, sorry. What's it called? I just forgot again. Zero goes into my zero. The police there waiting for people to go through red lights, which is a common problem in Queensland. I always, I don't go through yellows. I notice that drivers behind me will be racing to go, and that's a problem for me. Because it sort of makes me have to go, because if I stop, they're anticipating that I will go. But anyway, he said that just by the looks of it, that's like that I would pay someone, He was saying they were thinking of paying someone remotely to do that for $37,500 a year. And what that means is that they were going to use an agency that hire people to do work in the Philippines. And I'm not against that. It's very efficient. There's one very big problem from my experience living around the world, and that is the way that things are interpreted. If the task is extremely mundane and it's just like press A, once you've pressed A, press B, then once you've pressed B, press C, people can follow it. But if it sometimes requires some, critical thinking, then you have to make sure whoever you're working with can understand that colloquially, exactly what you're talking about. It can be very much misinterpreted. Also, it depends on what people think is doing things competently. That's another thing you've got to be worried about. But this way, I can sort of think what they're trying to do and then work it out with AI. And I said to this guy, I think that what I'm doing, we could probably. What's the girl who goes to my gym? I wonder if she's lost. I should have asked if she needs a lift home or something. But anyway, the other day, the poor girl at the gym, she walked. She said she walked about 1.5 miles because her boyfriend took her car. And I said, well, if he wouldn't mind, do you want me to just drive you home afterwards? She said, yes, I'm not walking 1.5 miles again. She goes to the gym like every day. Anyway, so I said, if they've quoted you $37,500 a year, I reckon I could probably do it at $18,000 a year plus GST, so $19,800. He was blown away. He said, really? I said, yeah, I think it could. Now, if your business, if the volume of work doubled, then I think it'll probably be, you're probably looking at $500 a week. But I mean, I was looking at how they're doing it now with the telephone appointment and then the human, the notes were just, AI does a really good job of note taking. Plus, there's a lot of appointment setters out there already, but they use ChatGPT, which is not the best, and some of them are using Google Gemini now, and it's just not good. I use a much more expensive AI, and the reason is it's just really good. It's just good quality. You have to pay for expensive stuff. and it's actually quite good for legal and medical language. So it's developed to pick up on things colloquial, but Australian colloquial, but also and American and British colloquial English, but also metaphorical language and deep descriptions and explanations. So when you think you go to a doctor, you're trying to describe something, you may not know all the medical terminology. The doctor does, and the doctor has to interpret it. This is what this AI is used for. It's 3 times more expensive than Google or ChatGPT, but you get better results. And just imagine that you can get basically a 24/7 appointment setter. I really do think this is good for like a website, a button they can press and then they can talk to it. And they can also use it then with on their Google Business profile as a booking link. What's that? Oh. There's a booking link there. People can press on it and they can chat, but they can also speak. It works pretty well. You do have to sometimes train customers to use it, so you make a social media post about it. But also the telephone option is always there. But you can get online, talk frequently asked questions about your business, the product, service, jot it down, note it all down, give people a shipping estimate, then or maybe it's a service, you can make an appointment, then send out an invoice. The person pays the invoice, and you've got the appointment booked. If it's an appointment, you get a note if it's selling a product or service, and then all the data is retained as well. It's like super stuff. And honestly, I've been playing with it a little bit. Works better than people because people can forget really quickly and get distracted. The AI stays on it because there's so many safeguards I've built into it. All right. I reckon this is worth to a business $20,000 a year plus GST. All right. Easy. That would be a bargain. And it would save you having to hire one new person, especially if you're a small business. It's just unaffordable these days. Right. Let's wait for this nice car. Let's get out of here.